Hello everyone, my name is WizVox. Something bad happened here. So, I was gonna do another base tour when I got like a supercritical phase shifter set up. But I noticed on my status board that the reactor was shut off. I went to investigate, I saw there was no water in here. There was radiation around. I was taking a bit of damage from the radiation, even though I had a fully upgraded mech suit. And then I got to that point and died immediately. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, doesn't that, like, the radiation units or whatever is supposed to shield me? Not from that, it won't. Shoot, look at that. So yeah, I died there. Fun fact, this is the first time I've ever died. I went back to my base, made a hazmat suit, attempted to investigate, died again here. So, I'm effectively locked out of all my items until the radiation dissipates. Which takes about 4 in-game weeks? No, which takes about 4 real-life hours of just doing nothing. If my calculations are correct. So this is like totally disabled now, so this isn't running. So I went in here and I noticed there was no water in here, there was no pumps, no water in the pumps, and there was no energy in this whole system. So I realized what must have happened is my pumps got cut off from their energy, and then no coolant, and so it kept heating up. Now the weird thing is, these logic adapters should have prevented that. See, output from the reactor reaches dangerous temperatures. Yet somehow I got to over 2,700% damage before it finally turned it off. Even then, it would keep turning it on. It's like, so apparently I need another logic adapter for, like, damage critical. So that's super lame. So logic adapters are borderline useless, apparently. Yeah, I think this sort of ends my playthrough here, because I've tried to record this twice, and both times I've gotten a crash. One crash was created by the Java virtual machine, actually, and the other crash was created by a commonly occurring one through some weird incompatibility with Create and Optifine. Plus, this pack is on 1.16.4, and everyone's abandoned that for 1.16.5. So, yeah, I guess this ends my playthrough here. I want to show you my base, sort of what I've built. So this is the fusion reactor room, or was. I had this whole setup, pumping fissile fuel into this thing. And, oh yeah, so, maybe I want to investigate why everything got cut off from power. Because it's just, everything went wrong. These things were useless, my quantum entangleporter just stopped providing power to everything. Yeah, I'll take a look at that in a bit, but when I look at this. So, this is what it looked like. I had this giant buffer for nuclear waste. Turns out you don't really need this. I didn't really need this buffer. I just pumped it directly into my solar neutron activators and my isotopic centrifuge. It's creating a bunch of polonium and plutonium. And the excess waste was going into this massive, just dump here. And I had a chunk loader to triple check that this was chunk loaded properly. I guess that didn't really matter in the end. It was connected to this turbine, which for some reason I still don't have enough vents on it. So there's that. And it's connected to a quantum entangleporter, which would power my induction matrix. Hopefully this doesn't crash. It doesn't? Okay. Because last time when I tried to record this, I went through there and then it crashed. Let's hook up to my induction. See, the only thing is, so this is the other quantum entangleporter that's connected to the other one that was providing all the machines the power. And I looked, and this one, I like reset the sci config for energy, and then it suddenly started working again. I don't know why. The only thing I could have thought of was that I upgraded my induction matrix to include one more energy cell. And for some reason, that just stopped providing this with power. Yeah, so that's fun. Yeah, I've added a bunch of other stuff. I had a mecha suit. I can't really get it right now. It was, like, mostly upgraded. There was, like, a few more units I could have put on it to max it out completely. My ultimate goal was to make antimatter for the really crazy upgrades. That was my sort of my end goal of this pack. But as I got closer to making the supercritical phase shifter, I noticed it would have taken like literally tens of hours of idling just to produce enough antimatter. So yeah, and right here I have my status board. This is where I found out that the reactor wasn't running properly. So it says it's running, but I currently have the port for that disabled. And yeah, I got really close to the amount of plutonium needed to get to the supercritical phase shifter. Yeah. And also, since last time, I made a fusion reactor. And this provides my base with stupid energy. As you can see, it's like 3.17 mega FE. Which is, I think, bordering on the limit of the universal cable. 3.27. Yeah, an injection rate any higher, and it's probably not worth it. And I have just a bunch of pumps with filter upgrades, pumping heavy water into this electrolytic separator, creating a bunch of deuterium going into there, and I have a bunch of these solar neutron activators being pumped with liquid lithium from this rotary condensator. And all the lithium from that condensator is just coming from this one evaporation plant. I remember seeing, like, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Oblix or something. He had like 6 of those set up. It's like, you don't need that, you only need 2. So yeah, that's my fusion reactor. I had this whole setup to where I would have a computer that would, like, charge it. I had a computer that would detect if the laser is ready to fire. I had a tablet set up. You know what? Let me go to my body and let me get the tablet, because I spent a long time working on the code on that darn tablet. I'm gonna show it off, darn it. Now the problem is, if I break this in creative, does it give me the items? It does. Okay, so that is nice. Now the problem is, this is probably gonna irradiate me. Go back to my base. Okay. Yeah, I had to do that in creative mode, so I consider this playthrough to be, like, done. So there's nothing else I can really do. Yep, this I want to show off. So I had this little thing here that would do certain things, so I could activate and deactivate my fission reactor. And I could also start my fusion reactor if I so desired. So right now I'm going to comment out the actual startup thingy, which is that. Because it's a lot of power. And I would start the fusion reactor. Look at this computer. It says you know what? I'm gonna actually comment that back in. Because I actually tried to record this another time, but the tablet totally blocked the screen. So I would start the fusion reactor. Yep, so you see. And everything would start up because this is all hooked up to this energy cube that would power the lasers. If the power level emitted from this thing reached a certain point. So yeah, that's my fusion reactor setup. I was actually working on, when the accident happened, I was actually working on this little thing here, sort of expanding my network to include this little tree farm. And this would also tell me, like, what the status of the tree farm was if it was running, because currently this is set up so if it's less than, like, number of logs, it would stop. I was working on that, checked my status board, noticed the reactor wasn't running, and yeah, that happened. So that's pretty much it for my base. If you watch the other parts, I didn't change much from then to now. Yeah. That's basically it, I guess. That's what a few more gold. Added a few more gold crafters. I have this thing for additional paste, so if I want to take off my helmet, give it some more paste, so it would auto feed me. And yeah, not much else. Thank you for watching, I guess.